Bang, bang, bang. Oh my word. There's no way actually. It's about to get real ghetto in this mug right here. They sent the black trucks. They sent the black SUVs. You know what I'm saying? Mr. What's his name? Try to get me packed up. They try to get me packed up, Mr. I almost said his name. They try to get me packed up. They try to get me Mr. TMZ himself try to get me packed up. You feel me? Wasn't actually, I'm not gonna lie, they was kind of hidden though. They was kind of hidden. They actually almost got me packed up, bro. I couldn't log into my YouTube for like it was a little minute, and then like I got that little stream set up, right? I couldn't go live. Like I clicked the go live button and like it just wouldn't let me go live. So somebody has more pull than YouTube. Obviously, I don't got it. But they sent the black trucks to the crib. We got out of it smooth. And then we might have been talking a little too much about Mr. You know what I'm saying? We might have been talking a little too much, but you know what? That's beside the point. That's beside you know who you are though. You know who you are. You know who you are. You feel me? That Harvey Levin shit. Oh, that Harvey. No, I meant that Namani. I meant Namani Bailey shit. That Amari Bailey shit. Yeah, that's what I meant. That Amari Bailey shit. Speaking of, let me clean the lens. Let me clean the lens. This is what I got. Oh, we crisp now. But yeah, we crisp now. Amari Bailey, you know what I'm saying? We got sources now. We got sources now. We got people that are sources now. You know what I'm saying? We be confirming shit on Twitter now. By the way, Twitter, Astro, Lugias, we be confirming shit. Not really, but we confirming shit today. So I got word. Amari Bailey has committed. He is committed to college, right? I'm not gonna say which one, but I'm announcing he's committed though. He's actually committed. He's actually 100% committed to a college. Yeah, I mean they still got there's a lot more stuff they got to figure out, but it's like a verbal agreement. It's a verbal agreement he has with the college already though. So basically, if he's good, like you know what I'm saying, if he's good to play, I know exactly where he's playing. If he's good. We breaking news today, folks. We breaking news today. We breaking that news today. I'm not gonna be on my stream until probably 30 minutes into the stream. So we broke Amari Bailey news. You know what I'm saying? We addressed, you know what I'm saying? We addressed the black trucks coming to the crib, right? Fuck that. They sent the black trucks to the crib, man. What the Bro, the thumbnail literally looked like my house. That was literally my house. Like 2 week that one fight night. That's literally how my house looked like towards the end of it. Man, it's terrible though. It's terrible. But we say it was like a 2 week break. 2 week. It was really a 2 week break. Yeah, it was a 2 week break. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of hectic. I wanted to. My original goal was to start on the 12th. You know what I'm saying? But then I was still dealing with that. I was still dealing with all that, so I couldn't go live. There's so much happening. Like I wanted to talk about, the boys. We doing a big stream tomorrow. We got 2 big events going on tomorrow. We got, you know, the WBC, and we got the Team USA men's national team roster drop going on. We got the roster drop tomorrow. It's nasty. It's a nasty time for us right here. It's a nasty time for American sports right here. A nasty time for America. We got hockey. We got hockey. We got baseball. We got hockey. We got baseball. And we got soccer coming up. You feel me? We clean sweeping. We clean sweeping. Oh, we got that White House card too. We got that White House card. We gotta talk about the White House card. We gotta talk about that too. We got all for it, bro. What a time to be an American. Well, what a time to be an American sports fan, I guess. What a time to be an American sports fan. What a fucking time to be an American sports fan out here. Actually crazy. That's tomorrow though. That's tomorrow. All that's tomorrow. We're still gonna talk about WBC probably later on. I want to try that. We're at minute 6, 15, 16, 17. We're right around there, so I need to put a mental note right here. How do I want to go about this? You know what? Because I want to talk about TMZ, right? I do want to talk about TMZ for a little bit, right? There's this one thing that's been bothering me about TMZ. It's not the shit that you're thinking about, probably. It's not the shit that people would be thinking about normally. Well, it used to be thought about pretty regularly, but so TMZ, right? So they're doing like this coverage, right? They're doing this coverage on the singer David, right? They're doing this coverage on the singer David, right? A lot of gruesome details, a lot of bad stuff going on, a lot of drama, right? Drama, bad stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody had the end game symbol in Minecraft. Somebody got the end game symbol. Bad stuff going on. Most of the reports that you're seeing, though, most of the information that we get about this case, because it feels like we get information about this case still almost every other day. Like we're still getting like a bunch of news like dropped on us and shit. Why? So TMZ, why can't TMZ be solving these cases like 30 times faster than the judicial system? They'd solve cases like a million times faster, right? Like we almost see everything going on with this case, right? And like the stuff that like the recent stuff, like they brought up the dude friend Neo. I was about to do some crazy shit. No. Neo, one letter away from neon, right? Neo, right? He came out on like his Instagram story, right, on his close friends, but might I add too. So like, I think TMZ was actually the source that they're the reason why we know about all this. How are they finding out this stuff before like? We're working with authorities, bitch. You bet, like at this point, you are the authorities. At this point, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I get it. Like they're like a news outlet, right? Like that's their job, right? To get news, right? But man, it's just something about they be solving these cases like this, like quick, and like it's nothing like I'm not bashing them or anything. Like I'm just saying, like I'm more so bashing the judicial system, not like the courts. The courts. That's the main thing I'm bashing. It's like the courts and like how long all that process takes. Granted, it's for like a reason, but there's cases that, like, do we need this? Do we need to be waiting this much time? Like, it kind of seems like it all figured out himself, right? Anyway, right? Like, that was kind of just bugging me. So we're 10 minutes in. The first 10 minutes get cut off. I know why. I wasn't even speaking any ill will towards. Just mentioning, I guess, is enough as it is. But anyway, um besides Mr. I guess you can compare to like DJ Vlad. Let's get into the sports shit, right? We got, we got some pizza to talk about this. I know it's like a cardinal sin. Don't be eating on stream, right? You had to see the name. You had to just see the name so you can understand like the next segue I'm getting into. Folk. This might be like its own separate clip right here, own separate video. Hold on. I gotta get a thumbnail for that too. What we doing right here? What we doing, right? What we doing? Let me get a NOLA right here. 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 Let me get NOLA. Yeah, let me get NOLA right here. Let me get NOLA. We'll talk about my mans in a second. We're gonna talk about my mans right here in a second. But if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you have not been this happy since we had Drew Brees at quarterback, right? We haven't been this happy since. Like, I've never been so excited for a season, right? It's been a couple, because like towards the tail end of that Drew Brees prime, right? Like, I knew like it was getting hard, right? But like we still had, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a good enough team still, right? But it just isn't as it was before. Folk. Is the honeymoon alive and breathing? We got so much going on for this New Orleans Saints team. And like, you know what's the best part about this, too? You know what's the best part about us getting just like astronomically better throughout this offseason? There's two layers to that. One, we're not done. Like, we're not done. Like, we did all that. We made all these moves. I'm getting to the moves right now. But we did all this right here. We have more. Wait, there's more. You know what I'm saying? The Willie Mays shit just hit us right here. We haven't. I need to emphasize this too. I need to emphasize this, right? We have the 8th overall pick. The 8th overall pick. Like it's not a crazy. It's like we're not picking top 5, right? But that's a top 10 pick still, right? That's a top 10 pick. Okay, like that's a top 10 pick. 80, 70, 90% of the time, that's a starter. Almost every single time, that's still gonna be a starter. That's still gonna be a starter for us. But I'm so hyped for this team. I'm so hyped for this team. The other layer in that is that everybody got worse. Everybody got worse. Everybody got worse. The Bucks, what did they do besides lose players? All they did was lose players pretty much. What, they got Gainwell? I'm supposed to be worried about Gainwell. Fuck. They already had Bucky Irving. That's a workhorse. That's a workhorse right there. That is a workhorse. Okay. That is a workhorse, right? I know what you're saying. Oh, you could take a little bit of slack off of off of Bucky, right? That's a workhorse right there, dog. You need to give him the rock. You got to give that boy the rock. You got to give Bucky the rock. Bucky got to run. Bucky got to run. He's probably gonna be used more as a catchback, right? Out the backfield. Probably run routes at the back. Probably just stick him out as receiver. Honestly, just receiver. You good? They didn't do nothing. They didn't do shit. They didn't do anything. The Panthers, they got an edge rusher, right? They got an edge rusher. I'm gonna keep it so stacked though. I'm gonna keep it so stacked, right? Keep it so stacked. Because this past season, he started out as a Dolphin, right? Bro, he was doing badass though, right? Right? That is Jalen Phillips, right? He was doing badass. That dude was killing it on the Dolphins. But then he got traded though. What did he do after that? What did he do? He didn't do anything, right? Right? Like he ain't do anything. Like the dude ain't do nothing, right? And they lost Dowdle, right? So like they lost Dowdle, and so like what now we're gonna have to use the running back that we extended and paid all that money to. Now we're gonna have to use him, even though we weren't really using him this past season. And now he's the starter again. And then like now like our backup is that one guy. like what are we doing there? Like what are we doing there? What are we doing? That like to me the Panthers didn't get worse. But like they didn't do anything though. And they didn't do anything, and we swept them last year when we were mid or dog. We were dog. We were dog last year. We were terrible. We were a bad team as a whole last year. Like there's no way to sugarcoat it. Like we were, right? To me, they didn't do anything. They're just gonna go off of the progression of last year to this year. That's really all they're doing. And then the crown jewel of this all is the Atlanta Falcons. Oh my, Atlanta, man, Atlanta. Oh my Atlanta, you are looking worse than the Jets right now. Y'all look worse than the Jets. Y'all are terrible. Shit. But y'all are terrible though. Y'all are terrible. I can't lie. Y'all are terrible though. Y'all made no moves. Y'all lost a bunch of players. Y'all's best player on y'all's defense. You know, and he facing 3 felonies right now. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I remember all them years back. You know, saying when AK, you know, saying when gotta turn around and show it y'all again. When Young Goat was having, you know what I'm saying, when Young Goat was having his troubles, right? Y'all was the first to shit on him, right? Y'all was the first to shit on him. Man, when them James Pierce charges, I can't lie. That is a very serious situation. I can't lie. That is a very serious situation. Huge fan of Rickea Jackson, by the way. Very big fan of Rickea Jackson. That's a very serious situation, right? And these things shouldn't be taken lightly. But I mean, he was in the wrong. Like, the dude's a dumbass. Like, what are we talking about? The dude, something is extremely wrong here. And like, when you hear about like you know, I said the people around him talk about like stuff that, oh man, like this kid's a little, you know what I'm saying? Like he a little off it, but this is what y'all drafted. You know what I'm saying? This is what y'all traded up for. Y'all traded up for him. He dropped for a reason, right? He dropped for a reason. He was projected like number 1, like top 3 in the beginning of the season. I mean, beginning of the collegiate season that year. He was projected top 3. He had a badass year, a fucking killer year at Tennessee, right? Okay, killer, right? But he had a badass year though. That's like still like a top 5 worthy year. And he drops all the way to 20. He drops to 20. You know where that happened? You know when that happens? That happens to stupid motherfuckers, right? That happens to stupid people. So like I want to feel bad, but at the same time, it's Atlanta being Atlanta, right? It's Atlanta being Atlanta, right? Like, it's like Magic City night all over again. Like it's just Atlanta being Atlanta, right? Why the Spring Breakers come to Why the Spring Breakers come down to H-Town, right? They come down to H-Town, right? They just totally skip Atlanta, right? They totally skip in Atlanta, right? Ain't nobody want to go to Atlanta, right? They come into Houston to basically do the same shit. They come into Houston to do the same shit that they be doing in Atlanta for spring break, right? Because ain't nobody be going to beaches anymore. I know I sure as hell ain't going to no beach. Well, contradict, but I haven't gone to a beach in like, it's already been years since I've gone to a beach. I remember I went for like that one specific time. And like before that time, I hadn't gone to the beach in like a whole lot of years. Since I was a spring breaker. Right. Like at this point in my day age, right? You know what I'm saying? My day age, you know what I'm saying? I got a trucker voice, you know what I'm saying? I got a cane going on. I got that cane. I got a cane going on, you know what I'm saying? I use fucking combs and shit. Using combs and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? My hair not combed up at all, right? But oh shit. All right, okay. Let's stop clowning around. Let's stop clowning around with that. But you get it though. You get it though. Atlanta just got a lot of stupid ass people. Where all the rappers come from? Atlanta, right? But man, like I was like this. Shannon Sharp meme and all that. I'm way too close to the camera to do it, right? But Shannon Sharp meme and all that. That's how seated I was for all the shit that Atlanta did this offseason. Atlanta put on a master class. They put on a master class of how to fuck up your franchise this offseason. A master class performance. They signed Tua. I already said the R word I already said the R word earlier in the stream, but like, you know. Yeah, I didn't even peep that. I did say the R word. That was that's definitely getting Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, the first 10 minutes I was talking about like controversial stuff. I didn't peep that. I said the R word that like ultimately is probably gonna get that whole segment cut off, right? So nobody did anything, right? Nobody in the NFC South did anything. What we do? What we doing, right? What we doing, right? We addressed possibly, actually, I'd say the second biggest need, right? Address the second biggest need on the team, right? That was offensive guard, right? We didn't just get an offensive guard, right? We didn't just get no guard, right? We got the guard, right? We got the offensive guard, right? Motherfucking David Edwards. I dare you. I dare you get around David Edwards, right? I dare you. I dare you do some shit like that, right? Shit, I'm running. Shit. And then like you heard what David Edwards was talking about. How shit, I saw what KB put on. I saw what Kelvin Banks was putting on tape, right? I know that's gonna be a scary duo, right? They've been playing all the same. All right, it's gonna be a scary duo. KB and DA. I was gonna be a scary duo. Right? You know, I didn't think this was a need necessarily. I mean, I didn't think this was really necessarily of a need as like compared to like receiver or something, right? But we got a running back, right? We got a running back. Not only did we get a running back, though, we got a pretty good running back, right? We got a pretty good running back. He pretty good. He pretty good, right? The argument about Travis Etienne. That's how we saying his name. That's how we saying his name in NOLA now. We saying he came to NOLA and said, "Yup, I got to drop him the pronunciation. I got to drop the pronunciation since I'm gonna be here for a little minute." And saying he back home, right? We understood. We knew the pronunciation from the beginning. We knew it from the jump, right? We knew it from the jump. I didn't think you could see the time from here. I thought like the poll. I'm gonna understand this a little bit better too soon. But like, yeah, I didn't understand. Like, we had like the poll right here, right? We had the poll, right? Give me some leeway. Yeah, y'all gotta give me some leeway, bro. I be doing this, right? And I be doing this. And no, it's not that. It's not to be doing that, right? No, it's left hand. Real ball knowers know about that. Anyway, besides that though. What more can we say about H-Chan, though? What more can we say about H-Chan, man? You got Travis H-Chan running in between Kelvin Banks and David Edwards. Dog, what are we doing? Dog, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We trying to win a Super Bowl right here? Like what is this? What's all this we got going on back here? We trying to win a Super Bowl from NOLA again? We trying to win another Super Bowl? Um, so we got the line, we got the back, got the QB. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might need another receiver. Might need one more, right? I like Olave, right? I like Olave. The organization seems to like Devon Vele too, right? They love Devon Vele. I think we need one more. I think we need one more. You think we need one more body out there, right? And then we got Juwan, right? We got Juwan, and then and then somebody with the light bulb, somebody with the light bulb and that little vein popping through their forehead had the fucking like genius idea. It's like, you know what? Maybe we should get, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should just get creative and let's get Noah Fant. Let's throw a little money on Noah Fant, right? You're thinking about Noah Fant, right? He's not no tight end one. Not no tight end one, right? It's pretty obvious from his previous stints from the Bengals and the Broncos, and he kind of proved that he wasn't a tight end one in Seattle. But however, the Broncos and the Bengals stints, however, they prove that he's also a really good tight end number two. You know what I'm saying? That was a roar. Yeah, no, he proved that he was that boy. Proved that he was that boy at that tight end two position, and we don't need him to be a one because we have a one. We have a tight end one. We have a tight end one, right? He cool, but I mean, we have a tight end one though. We're running two tight ends, right? Two tight ends, killer O line, HN, yeah, HN. Tyler Shuck, Tyler Shuck, and then like when I look at that jerk, that's the best receiver in best receiver in the division. What are we talking about here? Best receiver in the division. What are we talking about here? And then the defense, right? And then the defense, right? So like there's a lot of questions still on the defense, right? A lot of questions on the defense. However, there's a lot of questions last year on the defense too. A lot of questions last year on the defense, and for some reason, we've just been a good defensive group all these years. It sucks that we couldn't have we never had like these groups when Drew Brees was around, right? We never had these groups when he was around, and we would have won Super Bowls if we had a, just even a piece of these defenses. If we just had a piece of it, we just had even like Demario Davis. Demario Davis played his full career in NOLA. We might have had another chip. I feel like we could have had another chip. Reality is he didn't though. Speaking of, we did lose him, right? We did lose him, and we got possibly the only person to me, this is actually the only person that would actually make sense to replace Demario Davis, right? Demario Davis was like that dude was he was the motor. Like, he was straight up the motor of the defense, right? Like that dude was like you can make an argument that Demario Davis is one of the best linebackers in the league these past couple of years, just based off of the shit that he was doing in like just a leadership role. The dude was leading. The dude was like top 10 in tackles this past season. Like the dude's putting up the numbers. He's putting up the numbers for that top linebacker. And then like I don't think anybody in the National Football League leads a defense like Demario Davis. Like confession time. Confession. I fucking hate the New York Jets. I fucking hate the New York Jets. Not a personal note, right? I just hate the New York Jets, right? And Demario Davis might be one of like 5 Jets that I tolerate. One of 3 that I my leg. Here you go. Demario Davis, he's that guy. Like, he really is that guy. He might make the Jets a decent defense again. That's scary to me because I hate the Jets. And like, I love what the Jets have been doing, like the past couple of, well, like, I guess like historically, I've loved what the Jets have done by like just tanking their team altogether. Like, the Jets be making like the most questionable decisions, the most like the foolishness of the New York Jets, right? It's a love hate relate. Like, I love watching the Jets like crumble. I love watching the Jets like get done, like, you know, and then like see this right here, see this right here. Fuck the Jets. Anyway, so the perfect replacement for Demario Davis would probably be, at this point of his career, it would definitely be Caden Ellis, right? So Caden Ellis starts out his NFL career, right? Starts out his NFL career with us, right? He also starts out not just with us, he starts out with the Demario Davis led defense, right? So playing whoa, that was terrible. Playing in a very similar system, and at least I would be hoping that he would be able to bring the same level of system as that he would bring to as Demario Davis would bring, and that he brought in Atlanta. That's another thing. He fucking went to Atlanta, right? He was Atlanta's best. He was one of their best defensive players, right? He was. I mean, that's the best way to explain it. He was their Demario Davis, right? He might not have been the best player. Like, he might not have been like, you know, AJ Terrell. He might not have been James Pierce, right? He might not have been Marshawn Lattimore, Cam Jordan, right? But if Caden Ellis isn't your best player on defense, you have a fucking killer defense. You have a killer defense. Or if you're Atlanta, you just have a lot of holes. You have good pieces. You just have a lot of holes if you're Atlanta. But for our teams, like we it's just us having a killer defense. It's just us having a killer defense. Picture perfect replacement for Demario Davis, right? Sucks to see Demario Davis go, but if he's leaving as Caden Ellis is coming back, I'm doing that through the phone, right? Through the phone. Absolute killer. Say all the world for the both of them, right? Then we got a new punter, right? Punter, right? Right. I'm hearing a lot of things that the punter is probably going to be our best acquisition, and that's saying a lot too. For like what we brought. It's kind of a lot to saying that our punter is going to be. But the argument is though is that we were fucking terrible at punting. We were terrible at punting, and we've kind of been terrible at that aspect of the game, punting. We've been terrible at punting since we had Morstead, right? And it's been a while since we've had Morstead. Right? Morstead's been like a thought at this point. At this point in his career, a little thoughty at this point. He's been to the Jets, and I think right now he's with Niners. Still a good player, it's just not with us. Not with us anymore. And he left a big ass hole. He left a big ass hole that we just never was able to fill until this past offseason. We just decided, hey, we're having punting troubles. Let's just make this one the highest paid one. It's all right. Like to hear it from our shoes, right? Like to see it from our shoes, knowing how bad we've been at this particular part of the game for so long, and yeah, like last year, it was just historic. It was historically bad last year, right? So if we have the cap space, might as well make this dude the highest paid. And the sad part, here's the part that's been pulling the Saints fans we're having a good team, We're bringing in a lot of good players. A lot of our franchise legends are leaving though. So Cam Jordan, right? Cam Jordan's coming off of a 10-sack season, a 10.5 sack season. Don't want to disrespect my boy. 10.5 sack season. Hasn't been producing that many sacks for a while. You can't lie. It's been a little minute. And that age is up there, right? That age. It's wrong side. But that age is coming up and he just had a fucking killer season. So at like the worst time possible, he just had like the best season of one of the better seasons of his career. It's one of those things where like I really want to bring you back, but it's like, dog, if you're gonna get paid, like if someone's gonna pay you, pay you. And like the thing is too, is that like it's been sort of like a point in the off season where if they were going to pay this man Cam Jordan, if they were going to pay him, he probably would have gotten paid already, right? We're March 16th, free agency. Oh man, been active for a minute, right? It's been active for a little while. Let's see how long we've been. Like the 10th. No, the 10th or the 9th, right? It's been almost a week since free agency has been rolling, right? If he would have got paid, he would have got paid a long time ago. It's no secret. So, like, I think the more days go by, the more likely it is for Cam Jordan to come back to us. However, it's not a guarantee, and then he's worth it. That's what I'm saying. Like he's worth it in the sense that he generally should get paid. Like it's usually what happens when you have a good year on a contract year. You get paid. Maybe it's not your team that pays you. but somebody pays you, like just somebody, right? I wouldn't see how like the Bengals. Oh, I think that's kind of a bad case a little bit, but like but like the Jaguars more so, the Jaguars who have lost a lot of their players, and then they didn't get they didn't get Crosby. Let's keep it a bean. They didn't get Crosby. I don't think they're going to get Crosby at this point. They did not get Trey Hendrickson, right? And they were looking at both of them. I mean, it makes sense. They're kind of like in a win now scenario, but it's like also at the same time, are we now in a win now scenario? Like what? Like what? Like I'm. It's a little conflicting. It's a little conflicting now because of how well we've done this offseason. It's a little. I bet it's extremely conflicting for these guys too because they wanted to get paid elsewhere. But these guys that are left are like they're New Orleans. Like they are New Orleans. Like they've been New Orleans for like the past 10 plus seasons. Like I don't know a more New Orleans person on the roster than Cam. That dude that dude is like just a living embodiment of a New Orleans Saint to me. Like it'd definitely be very weird to see Cam Jordan in like a Jaguar uniform, like in a Cowboy uniform. He wouldn't necessarily go on a Cowboys or like what else would Cam Jordan make sense? Or like a Patriot uniform, right? Like I don't see these teams like it just doesn't look good for Cam Jordan, right? Patriot jersey with Jordan 90. No, that shit out of here. That shit out of here. All right, you belong in them black and gold, boy. And then crown jewel of them all, right? My man's right here. My man's. We gonna check the stream right here. My man's right here. So he's no, we still up. We still up. Still up. Actually, you know what? So we can see. But yeah, no, we still up. We still up. No, we chilling. We chilling. All right. All right. So yeah. So AK, right? Alvin Kamara, right? Alvin Kamara. Boy, Alvin Kamara and Travis Etienne with. Oh my goodness! Just the thought of Etienne and Camaro is just like how our defense is gonna compete with that shit, right? Like to me, the best versions of Camara, right? Not the best versions, but like, or you know what? The most efficient version of Camara, of Alvin Kamara, the most efficient version of him, to me, is boom and zoom Alvin Kamara. It's boom and zoom, right? You know what I'm saying? Marky Mark was Mr. Boom. Kamara was Mr. Zoom, right? I don't know necessarily what this duo would be called because they're both all around players, right? I guess I can consider each and a more of a bruiser than Kamara. Kamara really isn't exactly the biggest bruiser type of more of a get around you more than get through you, right? As where to like Ichan, right? Ichan would he's do it all. He's literally a do it all. You can throw it to him. You know what I'm saying? You can run it with him in between the lanes, right? You can pitch it outside to him. Like, he's do it all. That would be a killer duo. That would be a killer duo, right? The problem is that to me, it's that simple. To me, it's this simple. If he wants to be a saint, let him be a saint. Let him be. If he wants to be a saint for a reason, for obviously like a reasonable amount at this point, because we're gonna be paying a little bit more people now. Gonna be paying a little bit more people, right? Like obviously, like I don't want him to get like I don't want to give him like Echan money, right? I don't want to give him Echan money, but we can pay him still. Maybe not like Echan. Well, I mean, we can pay him like Echan. It just wouldn't be like wise. But if he can come back at a reasonable amount, why aren't we bringing him back? Why aren't we bringing him back? Now, if he doesn't, that's a little different, right? If he doesn't, or if he feels like he himself, because the thing is like another layer into this too is that we might trade him. I don't see how if we trade Alvin Kamara right now, I don't see how much value we can get out of him. Right? I don't see how. To me, I'd rather just either have him or I guess let him walk. Either have him or let him walk. Preferably, I'd rather have him, right? I think I'm speaking for myself, right? I think we would rather have Alvin Kamara as a New Orleans Saint. I feel like we would all just rather have that. To me, I think it's better for his career, right? I think at this point of his career, I think us bringing in Echan or Achan, what the fuck? I've been saying Echan. Achan, us bringing Achan along is us saying that, like, like, I don't think it's a replacement. That's all I'm trying to get at. I don't think it's a replacement necessarily. I think long term, yes, it's a replacement. But for right now, I don't think it is a replacement for you right now. I think this can be a legit two-back system. I mean, Echan was in a two-back system already with the rookie, right? With the rookie. This is Alvin fucking Kamara right here. This is Alvin fucking Kamara. I don't give a shit how what your last season looked like. You're Alvin fucking Kamara. Right? And he was hurt a lot last year. So of course his shit's gonna look like that. He was hurt a lot. I don't think he gets hurt as much with Achan. He doesn't play because he probably won't play. He probably isn't an every down back. That's the thing too. To me, Kamara isn't an every down back. Where he is, he can do that, but he's just more efficient in a two-back system. We've seen it before. He's just way more efficient that way than he would be as just a workhorse, right? He's not a workhorse, right? How much better does it get? How much better does it get for the Saints fan? How much better does it get? Right? How much better does it get? And we win our division, right? We win our division. We're gonna get a top 4 seed, obviously, just off of that, just winning our division. So we're hosting Yeah, we're hosting a playoff game, right? Hosting a playoff game. That's ideally how you would want to start in the playoffs, right? Am I wrong? It's ideally how you'd want to start in the playoffs. At home. I think we get one at home, get hot, right? Second round, we'll get. I'll be humble. We'll be like a 3-4 seed. So then probably, well, for a 4 seed, that's a little different. Because 4 seeds play 4 seeds play the big dog. But like, who's the big dog now? Who's the big dog? Is it still Seattle? Who's the big dog now? Right? I don't think Seattle's going to be that good, or as good as they were last year. I don't think they are going to be as good. I genuinely do think that Kenneth Walker's a big enough gap. I didn't like how Zach Charbonnet looked last year. He didn't look that good. And now he's a lead back. Or now you're running a 2-back system probably with George Holani, right? Like a 2-back system with George Holani. I don't see how that how that works. And then at that point you're going to be putting too much pressure on fucking Sam Darnold. Which, might I add, is still Sam Darnold, right? I don't know. Something about Seattle doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right going into this next year, right? It doesn't seem right. They lost. Never mind. They lost a couple of defensive pieces, but like none crazy, really. None crazy. I mean, they lost Tariq Woolen, but I mean, Devon Witherspoon. So, sigh to lose him. I mean, shit. That's his. NFL free agent. Oh, that's Saints free agency. That's Saints free agency, right? We'll get into a couple of the other moves, right? Like the Max Crosby stuff. Right? So there was like a 2-3 day period, right, where Max Crosby was traded. He was traded, right? And then all of a sudden, people thought that what's fucking that like the Ravens were gonna do something. It's like, oh shit, watch out! The Ravens finally got an edge rusher, right? Well, can the Raiders finally get a receiver? Like shit. Can the Raiders finally get a receiver? Is the Raiders defense going to improve by like 10 points per game or like what? That defense was fucking trash. It got a little bit better towards the end of the season, but that shit stank, right? That shit stunk. Ugh. That shit was nasty. Not the good type of nasty, too. That shit stunk. Like, literally, that shit stunk. Not a good team. Well, obviously they're a good team, but like that wasn't their Super Bowl winning piece. Max Crosby. I don't think Max Crosby was their Super Bowl winning piece. I think they need another receiver. That's what I think they need. They need to get another receiver besides Zay Flowers, right? And here's the hot take right here. Right? For as good as Zay Flowers last season was, I had him on fantasy. I knew how good he was, right? I was looking at the Zay Flowers, and I was looking at the Zay Flowers fantasy points. I knew how good he was dropping. I knew how good he was dropping that shit, but if you watch on film, if you see how he plays. However, if you see how a lot of these typical Baltimore receivers play, you would then come to the realization that, damn, Zay Flowers is a really good wide receiver too. He's not a 1. He's just not a 1. Right? They still need a 1. Right? The Ravens have been needing a 1 for the longest time. Right? Since pretty much Lamar Jackson's entirety of his career, they've been needing a number 1 receiver that long, right? And they drafted Zay Flowers in the first round, right? And he looks like a really good receiver, right? He looks like a really good receiver. He's just not a 1. He's just not a 1. That's not a 1 receiver. It's not a wide receiver 1. I mean, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out soon. But by the time they figure it out, Lamar will probably be on the tail end or retired. That's when they'll figure out that, damn, maybe we should have pushed for another receiver. Damn, maybe. And then the Baltimore fans, they're gonna bitch like, oh, we should have got Lamar another receiver. It's the same way how I bitch about the Saints not getting a defense for Drew Brees. We had fucking Drew Brees trying to outscore everybody, right? We had Drew Brees trying to outscore everybody. The Ravens have Lamar trying to outrun everybody. I mean, he's winning MVPs off of it, but MVPs ain't championships. You know what I'm saying? He's winning them regular season MVPs. He's not winning them Super Bowl MVPs. So, like, that's bogus. That was Max Crosby making them a Super Bowl contender. No. Like, no. It's like it's like giving the homeless man a 20, right? It's like giving a homeless man a 20 and the homeless man chills with his own dealer. It's kind of what it seems like. Like you gave him a 20, right? He's all excited for this 20, right? But then he goes and he does the same shit with that 20, right? He goes and does the same shit with that 20 that he would always do with that 20. The same shit with that 20 is the same shit he'll do the next day and the day after that and the day after that, right? It's the same shit, right? It's the same shit. You just probably got a little bit more that day than usual. You probably just got a little bit more that day than usual. So Ravens, overrated. I mean, just stop trying to like the media got to stop trying to hype up the Ravens. Like if they aren't, like if Lamar Jackson doesn't have like as much playoff wins as CJ Stroud, who's only been in the NFL for 2 seasons, right? Like the media looks stupid. The media looks like it's like whenever Stephen A talks about the Lakers. Like, again, be serious. That's the media trying to hype up the Bengals and the Ravens. And at times it seems like that for the Bills, right? But people have a little bit more realistic expectations for the Bills. It's weird too. People have a little bit more realistic expectations for the Bills because of Patrick Mahomes, but at the same time, they don't have these things with the Bengals and the Ravens. Apparently, because the Ravens have fucking Derrick Henry. That Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, they should win a Super Bowl. Or Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they should win a Super Bowl. The media be thinking that the NFL is like Madden and shit. That's the best way to put it. They be thinking it's like Madden and shit. That's probably probably it for the right for the MLB segment. You know that. It's the dance I be doing whenever I see a fucking Falcon fan on Twitter saying some dumb shit. That's what I be doing whenever I see some Atlanta person be saying some dumb shit. I be hitting that shit, right? I be hitting that shit. I be hitting all those emotes. I be hitting. Right. I want to time it. We're at, okay, all right, I'll go 6, 14, 50. Did I beat it? Oh, I beat it by like 4 seconds. I came back. It was at 56. That was like 4 seconds right there. I beat it by. Bro, that sucked ass, bro. It still sucks ass right here. Bro, you know, whenever you take like a single, right? A single, like you just going for a piss, right? You just going for a piss, right? So you head to the urinal, right? You head to the urinal. Bro, that feeling, like as soon as it drops, there's like that slight percent chance that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, it's not okay, it's not uno, but it's dos, right? It's not uno, but it's dos, right? So that it slows down your time a little bit. It slows down your time. It slowed me down a whole lot, right? Like some of that kind of sucks, right? You gotta parlay that into, you know, right? You're not really expecting it, but that parlay coming, right? Ooh. Oh, I didn't peep this. Oh, I didn't peep this, right? Oh no, I didn't peep this at all. Damn. Do I gotta end early? I'm gonna go two. Actually, no. I don't gotta end early, right? I don't gotta end early. I should be fine. Right. Sucks. I didn't screenshot my parlay for today. That's mainly I was thinking about the parlay for today. Um, yeah, I didn't screenshot that. Bro, I was talking about turning a 1 into a 2, and then I started talking about parlays, bro. Talk about a 1 parlaying into a 2. That's not, that feeling sucks though. Like that's a very shitty feeling, right? I can't I can't be I can't be getting caught up like that. You can't be getting caught up like that sometimes, right? Oh my lordy. Oh shit. All right, so I guess we talk about a little bit of the NBA news, right? Yeah, we talk about a little bit of the NBA news before we get into the White House card, right? Because ultimately, that's the main thing I'm really wanting to talk about was the White House card. That's probably looking at where the time is looking. It's probably where I'm gonna end stream is where the talk about the White House card. So, so to get on about the NBA of A's, right? The NBA's a lot of things are happening in the NBA of A's, right? Um, um, I can't even talk about that because it's so long ago. But I mean, talk about this. I mean, Bam Adebayo, you know what I'm saying? But you know, hey, man, he had us fooled. I mean, not really. It's like if you y'all remember you remember that Mike Beasley clip? Remember that Mike Beasley clip? Michael Beasley, he was talking on a podcast, I believe. Talking on a podcast, and he was talking about how Bam was the only dude that beat him in one on one, right? And this is Mike Beasley, right? This is Mike Beasley. This fucker who never claimed to lose one on one. But like long ass time ago, he was talking about how Bam would always kill him at one on one, right? And you probably think like, what the fuck, Bam winning on one? But I mean, Bam is apparently like that though. Like it was only like a word. It was only like a word of mouth. Like you hear about that shit. Like you hear about like, oh shit, like Bam really be doing that shit. Like you hear it from like the NBA players during the Team USA camps, right? You hear like KD talking about Bam. Like what the fuck? You hear who was that? Bro, who was another guy at that time? The big at the time. There was a big that was like, oh fuck, I don't even remember, bro. It wasn't Joel though. It wasn't. It was another big. But he was talking about how Bam was like that. He was like that. Also with that, like KD though. KD also was saying like, yeah, Bam fucking crazy. And Mike Beasley, like greatest one on one player, one of the greatest one on one players of all time. Mike Beasley talking about how could just never beat Bam, right? Could just never. Bam was just too good of an offensive player, right? Shit, ain't nobody believe fucking Mike Beasley, bro. Mike Beasley fucking crazy. Like that dude's fucking insane. Mike Beasley, that dude is clinically. There's some fucking like some clinically insane. Like the whole one on one period where him and Lance Stevenson like they were going at it on before the 1v1 happened, like when they were just like going on like on and on and on and on online about it before the 1v1 happened. Mike Beasley was saying some wild shit, some like very oh fuck, what's the word for it? Some very like emotional, not emotional. I don't know I don't know the word for it, but he's getting very intimate. There you go. He's getting very intimate with Lance Stevenson, right? Lance was saying some crazy shit back though, but it was mostly Beasley saying that intimate stuff, that all that intimate shit. It should be, 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 it should be. Nah, yeah, but Mike Beasley crazy though. Mike Beasley crazy. But something that something that happened today though that we can kind of break and talk about. Besides just breaking the Amari Bailey news, right? Besides just basically announcing that he's committed to play college basketball next year, right? But not committed, but yeah, basically verbally committed. Um, Yeah, so the NBA is heavily considering adding expansion teams, right? They're bringing back a this literally just struck a nerve with me right now too when I'm thinking about it. It literally just struck a nerve with me. They're so they've been talking about adding a Seattle franchise and a Las Vegas franchise for a while, right? They're both are some very crazy things like within each of those franchises that don't exist already. Like that Las Vegas is getting an NBA franchise, right? The NBA, right? The NBA is getting a Las Vegas franchise, right? Right? Like the professional league, the prof, the professional league that has one of the worst gambling problems like in the current day, right? Not historically. Historically it's definitely the MLB, right? But in the current day of like what sports betting looks like and all that, the one organization that has the biggest fucking like third eye going on with it with the gambling bullshit is the NBA, right? It's the NBA, right? There's a lot of shit that the NBA do that's like just scummy shit. Like Jonte Porter, for example, right? Malik Beasley, for example, right? Malik Beasley he didn't even do anything technically wrong, but he's still getting blackballed though. Shit. Right, but he's still out of NBA action, right? And then like a bunch of other things like with tanking and all that, right? Um that's another issue, right? That's another issue, right? Is them trying to fix that. But actually no, we could just get in because it ties into the fucking gambling bullshit, right? So the NBA tanking, right? Tanking's been an NBA problem for like the longest time, literally the longest time ever, right? No secret, right? People would tank. People would tank, right? People were tanking in the 90s. People were tanking in the 80s, right? They were tanking in the 80s, tanking in the 90s, tanking in the 2000s, taking in the 2010s. To me, is when tanking became mainstream, right? That's when the term kind of like was birthed, and that's when it really became like a mainstream organization move to do to lose games on purpose, right? So it became mainstream in the 2010s to where like teams were openly admitting that they were tanking, right? So you would think then is when the NBA would do something, right? Well, all the NBA really did was kind of just ban the word tanking, right? Like you couldn't openly admit it, right? And if you openly admitted it, you were gonna get a fine, right? Which in the NBA is like it's like face value a fine in the NBA is like the biggest slap in the wrist. Like what the fuck are you doing? Like everybody has like millions of dollars, right? The players have millions of dollars. The organizations have even more. What are we doing with these like couple $1,000 fines, right? Or like they're finding NBA teams like 50,000, like 50 hundred, like finding teams like $500,000, right? An organization $500,000, right? Like what are we doing? What are we doing here, right? the point I'm trying to make, why haven't they done anything? Why hadn't they done anything then? My bad. Why hadn't they done anything then? Why wasn't like all the league offices trying to solve tanking then? Right? Like when it became a mainstream idea, and when I'm trying to think of the fucking owner that was openly talking about tanking, and he got in trouble for it. But it happened so long ago. You know what? I have a fucking. But it's not like it's like some type of like secret thing or anything. Like tanking's been a fucking thing for the longest time. So why all of a sudden is tanking such a big problem right now? Why is it such a big problem right now? Well, that's kind of obvious, right? It's kind of obvious. Sports betting back then wasn't as big as it is now, right? It's not as like it's so easy to place a sports bet, right? Like I'm gonna end stream sometime before six. I'm gonna end stream sometime before 6. I have a parlay ready already on Fliff. I have a parlay ready. I have it on coins already. The whole point of it, me having it on coins, is that I'm just gonna transfer the same picks onto cash and just make the same bet, but for money, right? Like it's so easy. Look at this shit. They've even, bro. I wish I could. Can I share my screen? Can I? Is there like a way for me to share my screen? Actually, I'm not even about. I'm not even about it, bro. They've literally erased the history on it. Thinking you still. Whoa. What are that? Not players. I just saw some article that just said the dumbest thing ever about tanking too. Like making up injuries is the same reason. It's the same thing as sitting out healthy players, right? It's the same thing. Making up an injury to sit them out, it's the same thing. I don't understand why people don't differentiate that. But so tanking's only really been a problem when the sports betting got into it, right? When the sports betting got into it, and you have people betting on teams that are tanking, right? Against like the other day I put a parlay, right? And part of the parlay was the Celtics playing against the Wizards. I had the Celtics winning, of course. It was like minus 5,000. It was like minus 5. You don't make money off of that, right? You're not gonna make money off of that. On a single bet, you're not making money off of that. On a parlay that has more than like 6 or 7 legs, that's like when you can, okay, like maybe I add like this like 5,500 and get like an extra $5-10, right? Or yeah, like $5-6, right? I wasn't gonna do it again, right? Maybe they just get like the little extra change, right? Let me just get the little extra change, right? It's the only way you do. It's the only way you do those parlays. But nobody's gonna want to put a part. Nobody realistically is gonna add the Celtics beating the Wizards on their parlays, right? And Celtics won by I think 11 last night. I think it was by like 11 or something. But they won though. They won. It was for sure thing. Or the other night when who were the Knicks playing? The Knicks were playing somebody. I want to say the Knicks are. No, it was either the Jazz or the Pacers. It was one of those two teams, right? And 2 quarters had gone by at that point, and the other, it was the Jazz, right? The 2 quarters had gone by, and the Jazz were already up, I think, 15, 20 points. It was already becoming a blowout, right? Or becoming a blowout. However, the Jazz, one of those teams that have been openly tanking, they've even been fined. They've even been fined for tanking. Both of the teams I just named have been fined for tanking. So 15 to 20 point lead the Jazz has on the Knicks. You would think the odds would have the Jazz as the favorites at that point, right? You would think the live odds, the Jazz would be like, that's usually what happens, right? 20-point swing, like shit. Usually actually a 20-point swing, as a matter of fact, they just have the bets off most of the time, right? Because at that point, most of the time, it's like the computer thinks it's too big of a lead for you to place a bet on. So they just take the bet off completely at that. The game's already done at that point. The game's already done. But for that particular game, with the 15 to 20 point lead, the Utah Jazz were still the underdog during the live odds in that Knicks game. They were still the underdog. The Knicks won the game by the same amount of points as they were down by. As a matter of fact, they won. It was a now I'm remembering the exact game too. Now I'm thinking about it. The Jazz were up by 22 points at one point. They were up by 22 points. That was when like the live odds said that they were still the underdog, the Jazz, being up by 22 points, and they lost by 17 points. That's a crazy ass swing. Up 22 to down 17 is where the game finishes. I know the NBA is losing a lot on that gambling money because of that shit. I know they're losing a lot of that gambling money because of that shit. Because people aren't placing as much money line bets or spread bets. It doesn't affect the player props, right? The player props have always been a problem, right? They've always been a problem where like they won't announce like until like 3-4 hours before tip off, right? You made your parlay in the morning, right? Or you made your parlay in the morning, you bought your tickets in the morning, and you don't hear until like 3-4 hours until the game tips off, and like, oh, LeBron's not playing or like Kawhi's not playing, right? And it fucks up your parlay, and B, your fucking tickets, right? Because you probably paid hella for them tickets, right? And fucking Kawhi or LeBron's not playing, and them tickets after that's announced, them tickets are probably cheap as fuck. Them tickets are probably cheaper than a bitch. So then you lose money then, right? And then you lose money in like the betting aspect too. Which is like, and like the lateral things that I just talked about, right? The players being like, oh, like I'm out like 20 minutes, like 3 hours before the game. They fixed that, or they're trying to fix that at least. They've been trying to fix that for like a while, or they've been finding players for that for a while, because that became mainstream when the Kawhi Leonard and the whole the Kawhi Leonard Raptors year. That's when that became mainstream because the Raptors kept sitting Kawhi down for the playoffs and it worked. So then other teams decided like, oh, I mean, let me just sit my star player in the regular season so we can be ready for the playoffs. Like, and then it's stupid in that sense because not every roster is a championship roster, right? Not every roster is then you'd be sitting fucking sitting Blake Griffin on the Clippers for no fucking reason at that point, or another. I'm trying to think of players that would get by on the or Zach Randolph on the fucking Grizzlies, right? Like you're not winning no championships. What the fuck are you sitting out for? Put your ass on the court. What are you sitting out? What are you sitting out for? I sound like a shut up and dribble person right now. But I mean the NBA was quick to fix that, right? But as soon as the gambling companies get involved with tanking, oh, we gotta fix tanking this off season. This off season, we gotta fix tanking. The fuck out of here, bro. The fuck out. And then the biggest problem of all this, not just that the gambling companies are trying to fuck up the NBA. What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Where's my eyewear, right? My eyewear so I can look a little bit slightly more professional, right? What the fuck were you gonna do? What were you gonna do to fix that? Right? A lot of these proposed ideas to fix tanking, A, some of the most dumbest shit ever. B, some of the most liberal shit ever. And what I mean by liberal, right? What I mean by liberal is that you're solving a problem by creating a different problem that is possibly going to be worse than the original problem. So you're creating another problem, right? And then to solve that problem, you're going to then create another problem. And then it's just gonna snowball into just like the NBA Cup. Like just a bunch of bullshit. Like just a whole lot of nothing. Right, so like the problem with tanking is that there's no real solution to it. There's no real solution to it. And then there's no real solution to it. And then, like, I don't want to hear it from the fans talking about, oh, well, at least the NBA is trying. At least they're trying to fix it. And then bitch about whatever the fuck that they added to try to fix it, like, like the next year. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. To me, that doesn't make any sense. That to me is bullshit. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Gas gotta calm down. I'm on my last water bottle in this joint. I'm on the last water bottle in this joint. I didn't even get my energy drink. I'm saving that for tomorrow. I'm saving the energy drink for tomorrow's fucking stream because that one's gonna be fucking. There's a lot of passion going into tomorrow's stream. There's a lot of passion going into tomorrow's stream, right? There's a lot of fucking passion, right? A lot of passion, a lot of American passion going on. A lot of patriot shit. A lot of patriot shit going on, right? A lot of patriot shit. We got to be a patriot. You know, that's all it is. You got to be a patriot. I'm a fool. I just put more water in my Propel. It tastes like shit now. Oh man. Oh man, this tastes terrible. This tastes terrible. And that's what I'm gonna have to end the stream with right there. That's rough. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. Alright. Let me get let me get my White House. Let me get my little White House card. Let me get my little White House card. Before I talk about the White House card, I do want to mention this though. I do want to mention this. Aljamain Sterling. I do want to mention Aljamain Sterling bitching about his placement on like the whole featherweight hierarchy, right? The whole featherweight hierarchy. Um, Smaller rant for Aljamain Sterling because he went on a rant on his post RAF wrestling match. He went on a little bit of a rant. He had some valid criticisms in his position. However, it's his he's in his position, right? He's looking at it from his perspective, right? He doesn't see it from like the outside looking in, right? And the outside looking in is that you need to get in line, brother. You need to get in line. You need to get. You don't have a case. You don't have a case, right? You need to get in line, right? So like he wants, like he complains about it not getting a title shot, right? But then he has a featherweight. He's lost in featherweight, right? He's lost, right? And the guy he lost to, right? He hasn't even gotten his title shot yet. So like, and then you would think like, oh, like maybe he just lost his next fight after Aljo. No, he didn't. He hadn't lost. He still hasn't lost, right? So then, so then Aljo is like big, like pretending he's like on this like featherweight pedestal, right? Featherweight pedestal Aljo, right? Not bantamweight, featherweight pedestal Aljo. Um, just and like this next thing about it, like his exact quote, because they asked him like, did they ask you to be a backup? There's a fight going on at the end of this month of March. There's a fight going on. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a pretty big fight going on. Or I guess towards the end of this month. Actually, isn't it this next week? No, it's towards the end of this month. So there's a Movsar Evloev and a Lerone Murphy fight going on this next later this month, right, in London, right? And the UFC just recently came out, I think yesterday or this weekend, came out and said that the winner of that fight is going to get the featherweight title shot, which people have been wondering how neither of these people have gotten a featherweight title shot. But I mean, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. I don't want to see Volk fight any of those fuckers, right? I don't want to see Volk fight Movsar, right? I don't want to see Volk fight on I don't want to see Volk fight Movsar, right? I don't want to see Volk fight Lerone Murphy, right? I don't want to see that shit, right? I just don't want to see that shit. They will make that title fight boring as like 25, like this next fight that they're about to have between the, we'll get into it in a second, but this next fight that they are potentially gonna have next, holy shit, it's happening again. Damn it, I gotta wait 35 seconds. All right, 20 seconds. So this next fight that they're about to have, pretty pretty big fight. It's 25 minutes though. That's the only problem with this fight. It's gonna be a high level bout, a lot of high level shit. It's 25 minutes. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh shit. Damn. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, actually, no, it's a bad thing. Damn, I done spilled my water. I've done spilled my water. But it was a good thing because, or my like propel water. It was like terrible though. That was like terrible though. I need to make a new one. Um, damn the fucking yoga ball. For those new, I got like two people. I had two people in this. Oh fuck, the ball got wet too. But yeah, that's my streaming chair right there. It's my streaming chair. It's a Bosu ball. I mean, what the fuck, a Bosu ball? A fucking yoga ball. Pretty comfortable, but pretty easy to fall out of. Pretty easy to fall out of. Where were you? Where were you? Well, no, I made it. Did I? Because it was like 5 seconds when I don't know if I made it. I don't know if I made it. All right, so yeah, so Aljamain. So they asked Aljamain like, oh, like, did they ask you to be the backup for this next fight? And then he was like, I did, they did, right? But I said no, right? Because like what? So like I'm gonna go, right? Like be a backup, right? I'm just gonna be like what, like the backup for like the backup. Like what are we doing? Like he's talking about like the backup fighter for like a backup title shot. Like this dumbass thought like they were gonna give a title shot to like Gene Silva right now or some shit. This is why you also got to pay attention in your own division, right? Because Volkanovski has said like playing as he said very clear too that like, and Volk isn't like I'm sorry, I know that he's like his teammate, right? Volk isn't exactly Marab, right? Volk isn't exactly Marab in this scenario, right? Because Volk he has a couple of defenses, right? He has a lot of defense, not just a couple, because Marab has a couple of defenses. This dude has a lot of defenses, Volk. Dude has a whole lot of defenses. I'm sorry to say, he is in those positions where he can call his shot. He can call his own shot at this point. He can call his own shot at this point. This matchmaking was basically Volk's idea because he didn't know, oh, Mafzar, this other guy is fucking undefeated. Like, just have those undefeated fucks go against each other and I'll face the one that's still undefeated. It's a good idea, right? It's a good idea when you have this type of logjam. Well, it's what you're supposed to do, right? It's what you're supposed to do, right? It's ideally how you create a contender is you put them up against each other. I don't know when the UFC went away from that. Is putting up your number one contender and your number two contender, like your number one contender, your number two contender, bro. I was like lost right there. It's ideally how you create a contender. You put your best fighter and you put your two best fighters against you. It's the easiest way. This dude Aljamain, I don't know who he thought was getting a title shot other than those two, right? So ideally you would want to be the backup for that. Because if you somehow fight and you win that fight, somebody actually has a claim to face to get a title shot. Right? Right? And them saying this weekend that whoever wins this fight is like the cherry on top to it. It's like the cherry on top to it. So also, in like right around the same time as they announced that whole shit about the featherweight fight being the next up in line, we're getting a lot of news that Movsar is having a ton of visa issues. I don't know how though, because I guess Russia's like one of those iffy. I'm pretty sure he'd be staying in Asia too, and like those Caucasus countries. So I guess that he's Muslim. Well, him being Muslim doesn't have a thing to do with that, but yeah, I guess he's having visa issues, so he might not even show up. And then this stuck up guy has like this attitude, like, oh, I'm too good to be a backup. I don't want to be the backup for the backup. If Gene Silva pulls up, oh no, Gene Silva pulls up and he fights what's his face, Lerone Murphy, and he beats Lerone Murphy. I don't think Lerone Murphy, like, he's good. Lerone Murphy's good, right? That's the point I want to make with Movsar and Lerone Murphy. They're good fighters. Like, they're both really good fighters. However, against a Gene Silva, who is most likely going to be filling in a short notice scenario, Gene Silva might have trouble with Movsar, but Gene Silva, to me, I think he KOs Lerone Murphy. I think he KOs Lerone. I think he does. I don't think Lerone's grappling. I don't think Lerone's grappling is as threatening as Gene Silva's is. I don't think he has range. He has range and good movement. Right? He has range and good movement. That's kind of his bread and butter. I love me some range and some good movement, right? Some good movement. However, it is boring to watch, though. It is boring to watch, but it's very efficient. To say the least, it's very efficient. It's very efficient to go range, to go. I'm too close. Very easy to go. Very easy to go range. Very easy to go range. Very easy to go stick, range. It's the easiest way to fight: stick, range, movement, out. Well, the easiest way is to grapple, but easiest way to strike is to stick, range, move around. Go run around, do whatever you want. But stick and range. It's the name of the game. Aljo's a fucking dumbass. Aljo's literally a dumbass for that. And I hope Movsar doesn't. I hope Movsar's visa is fucked up, because one, I fucking hate watching Movsar fight, and two, just for the sole reason that Aljamain was being a little bitch about that. He was seriously being a little bitch about it. But anyway, so this White House card, right? This White House card is what the final crown jewel part of the stream, right? We talk about the White House card, right? Right? Talk about I guess we'll talk about the USA Baseball Classic, WBC Baseball Classic in a bit, for a little bit, but it's mainly the meat and potatoes we want to get into today. Six fight card, right? It's a very underwhelming number, but he did say we were going to get a sixer 6 or 7 level 5 card, right? And these are some interesting fights. So we start off with Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. Now, now, now Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. That's like an MMA fan's wet dream right there. That's like a wet dream came to reality right there. That was like something you pillow talk for. That was like, that's like one of them like dirty thoughts, like Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia would probably be a killer fight, man. Somebody might die that fight, man. Like that'd be cool. That's such a crazy ass fight to lead off with. They want them asses in the seats instantly. Steve Garcia, Diego Lopez, dog. It's a crazy fight. I might be a little crazy in saying that I got Steve Garcia. Well, it's not crazy to think that. I would assume that Steve Garcia would be the favorite, if I'm being honest. Assuming he'd be the favorite because of the killer streak that he's been on recently, the killer Terry has been. Fucking money fight. We got this next fight that I'll get into it later, right? I'll get into it last, right? Fourth fight up. We got Mauricio Huffy and Michael Chandler, right? We got Chandler and Huffy, right? Now, why the fuck is Michael Chandler on my White House card? You know damn well, Chandler, like, Chandler begged to be on this card. And it's kind of like who wants to see him? Why is he fighting in the White House? Why is he fighting Kofi in the White House? I thought Trump wanted fights. You know what I'm saying? I thought Trump wanted, because it's no secret. You know what I'm saying? He had a little bit to do with this, with the matchmaking in this card. And that little input that he had with his matchmaking card was that, you know what I'm saying, Americans were going to be up. Ugh. That was a nasty one, right? But basically, yeah, the Americans were going to be up. It's just what it is. We were going to be up. It was really obvious. Like, to me, that's what I thought when we talk about it in the main event. But to me, that's what I thought. Like, the reason why they weren't going to go with this main event was because of the fact that Trump has made it a heavy push that he wanted these American fighters to win, right? He don't want to see no Americans losing, right? Even though second fight up, you got two Americans. What's up with that? You got two Americans in the second fight up. We'll get into that later. But yeah, Michael Chandler and Mauricio Huffy. I'm assuming Michael Chandler would be like a plus 300 underdog, right? I'm assuming that's a huge underdog. Now the thing being, I actually won't mind taking Michael Chandler, right? I don't mind taking Michael Chandler in this fight, right? And the thing is that Huffy got a little power, right? Huffy do got a little bit of power, right? But Michael Chandler got a fucking chin, right? He got a big ass head. Michael Chandler got that big ass head, right? Michael Chandler come with that pressure. He come with that pressure, right? So, I think it's gonna be that fight. I just think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think. Like, I have a feeling people may think that, oh, Ruffy's gonna just like bulldoze this fucker, right? Like Michael Chandler, like what the fuck? I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot closer because has Huffy fought I mean, Bobby Green brings a lot of pressure, right? He does bring a lot of pressure, but Bobby Green brings a lot of pressure with his hands down too at the same time, right? He brings a lot of pressure with them hands down, right? So having your hands down, that's like a double edged. Like, I mean, that's why I love watching Bobby Green fights, right? But it's a double edged sword though. Like you can't just be having your hands down fighting somebody with power, right? Like that's like kind of like where it like kind of where shit hits the fan, right? You can't just be walking them down. Like you gotta pick like what shots you want to land and when you want to land them. You gotta pick what you're doing and when you're gonna do it with those guys. Those counter punchers that have a lot of power. Like you gotta pick and choose like what type of strikes you want to land against them because you fuck up and they counter you. But the beautiful thing about this fight, Chandler got a chin though. Chandler got a chin. Chandler may be able to eat. He might be able to eat something. He might be able to eat something that saying that like Bobby Green might not be able to eat, right? Like, well, Bobby Green got like obliterated, so that's probably a bad example. He got like eviscerated. That was a little different. But basically, I don't think that doesn't happen to Michael Chandler though. That doesn't happen to Michael Chandler. I mean, it's gonna be a good fight. Like Michael Chandler only puts on good fights. That's probably why he's on this White House card. But bro, it's been like 2 years, bro. Like it's been 2 years. You're still waiting for McGregor. Like bro, like hang it up, blood. Like you gotta hang it up, blood. I guess that's pretty American though. That's pretty American, I guess. So third fight up. Third fight up. We have possibly the biggest hate watch of in America, right? This is like, this is like the main event of hate watching in the UFC, right? Like this might be like they put on some good hate watches this year. They put on some good like some banger hate watches, right? Like Mario Bautista's been on a run. He started out the card with a pretty good hate watch, right? Started the card pretty good hate watch, right? I feel like everybody just treat a Strickland fight. They just treat a Strickland fight week like it's a hate watch, right? It's just a hate watch for all sides of them, like liberal America, right? The people from the other countries don't like him, right? Like, because what has he done to like earn love in Saudi, right? What is he doing to earn love in China, right? Like, come on, keep it above, right? Nobody likes Strickland. We got some pretty good hate watches. This this Ayman Zahabi and Sean O'Malley fight. This is like a do or die for Sean O'Malley. If Sean loses this fight, your career. Sean O'Malley loses this fight. Your career is over. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that close to this mic right here. Your career is over. Not over in a sense that like, oh, you're not gonna make any money, but like your MMA career, in terms of like probably winning a chip, it may be over. It may just be over, right? You lose this fight, you're gonna need some killer ass fucking win streak to get another title shot, right? I think this fight was obviously designed for O'Malley to win, right? It was designed for O'Malley to win, right? Zahabi isn't the type of grappler that gets O'Malley done, right? Right? He's not that type of grappler, right? Um, I just don't think cage grapplers do well against O'Malley. I just don't think so at all. Like you can hold him on the cage, but like you better do something with it, or like you're not gonna last that long in that position. In those positions, at least, you're not gonna last that long. O'Malley, this could be a going out party for O'Malley. Another going out party for O'Malley, right? I think O'Malley could possibly get a KO in this fight, right? I think Zahabi's very KO friendly, right? I don't know. I think this is just to me what this seems the third fight up. It seems like an extremely high profile squash match. That's what it seems like to me. A very high profile squash match. Okay, right. Second, co-main event, right? Co-main event. We got a pretty big talking head right here. We got a very big talking head, right? We got Alex P. Got Alex P going toe to toe with Cyril Gane, right? Now the problem with that fight, fucking beautiful fight, right? Beautiful fight, absolutely amazing fight, like 10 out of 10 fucking matchmaking right there, killer fight, right? If you know ball, you would understand that, like, shit. this might actually be like Alex's toughest matchup in a good while, right? In a good while, like this might be tougher than the big Unk fight, right? This might be tougher than that. This could be tougher than that fight, right? The slight problem with it is that there's no American. There's no American right there, right? There's no American, right? Pereira barely even speaks English, right? Barely speaks English, if any, right? So that's already an issue right there. Not really speaking a whole lot of English, and you're going to the White House, right? And then the opponent you're fighting is French, right? It's French. Gane speaks English, but like they speak it like this, I speak it like that. I have heavy tone, heavy accents, or it's a little broken, a bit broken, right? I know I was making fun of him, but it's broken, but it's more efficient than the Russian. It's a little bit more efficient than like Islam, or it could be speaking English. No American though. No American. Sorry, but you're fucking Brazilian, French, like. There's another card for fights like this, right? It's going on like somewhere in like the same like month, or like the month before, right? Right, it's going on like pretty much the same time as this little card, literally a little card, right? I made a midget joke right there, right? Little person joke, not the M word, right? But like the problem with it, right, is that not American, right? Not American. They're not even close to being American, and it's gonna be a killer fight. It's gonna be a killer fight. I'm thinking, depending on how Alex prepares for this, I think that like if they both prepare pretty adequately, I'm thinking Alex does prevail in this. If Alex isn't, I'm thinking this is going to be a long fight potentially. This could potentially be a longer fight, right? So if Alex isn't prepared for a longer fight against a heavyweight, which is a little bit more conditioning than just a typical 25-minute fight, right? Then that's when you can see Gane go and outpace him, right? Outpace him, put a little bit of that heavyweight pressure, right? Because Gane is very quick. He's fucking huge, and he's quick. So that's kind of like that's an issue for Alex. And Alex isn't a grappler, so can't just take him down, right? Can't just take him down, put that mustard on him like how John did, right? I think the argument for this fight being John Jones not fighting or not being available John Jones is pretty geriatric, right? It's pretty geriatric. I don't know why people are all of a sudden making a big deal about John being a geriatric when Joaquin Buckley said it, like, I think the beginning of this year. Joaquin Buckley said, "Oh yeah, Johnny Jones told me that he needed a hip replacement when he was going on looking for a fight." You know how Buckley does that shit. He goes on like Instagram lives and just be bullshitting. He mentioned that Jones is geriatric. He needs a hip. He needs a hip replacement. We knew this like for already a while back. We already knew that Jones needs a hip replacement. I don't know why people are all of a sudden like, "Oh, Jones is good. He's getting blackballed by the UFC." Like, no, you're not healthy. It's that simple. You're not healthy. You're just not healthy, right? And then obviously, like, a part of it too is the long term effect of John Jones, right? Is that John Jones has talked about retirement like the last couple of years, like every other month he's talked about retirement, right? So it's like the George St. Pierre treatment. It's the George St. Pierre when he came back, right? He came back for a middleweight title shot, right? He came back, and his whole ordeal with Dana is that Dana wanted him to fight for the title, right? Fight for the title like George wanted, right? George wanted the title fight. Dana was going to give him the title fight. However, he wanted him to defend it just once, just one defense. You don't have to do all this shit. Just one defense. So, and obviously GSP never defended, right? He retired after Michael Bisping, after the Michael Bisping fight, after a medical condition. I put it in quotations, but he was going through some medical shit. Basically, he still is going through this same medical shit that he's going through that caused him to retire like years ago. He's going through the same shit, basically. So he didn't just retire just for the fuck of it. He retired for a reason, right? Jones retires after this Stipe fight. It's like the most obvious thing that you retired after that fight, knowing that somebody already has an interim title. They've had the interim title before you even fought for before you even fought Stipe, right? So then it becomes like the notion where like, okay, well, how am I supposed to believe you? How am I supposed to believe in you? How am I supposed to put in any stocks in you if you're just gonna like what you're gonna fight Alex, right, for an interim belt, right? And then like what like you're gonna fight Tom? You're gonna fight Tom? You're gonna finally fight Tom, right? Right? We offered you 30 mil back then to fight Tom, right? You didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. But we expect you to now, like a year or two later, now you're going to fight Tom. Fuck no, you're not fighting Tom. You're not going to fight Tom. You were never going to fight Tom. You weren't going to fight Tom. And that's all right. And that's all right. But you have to finally eat the fruits that you produce. You finally have to eat the fruit that you produce. You have to finally face the music that you made. Ironically, Jones created all of this. He created all of this himself. And then there's that other layer of John Jones, like, oh, like, is he gonna be on his best behavior and all that shit, right? But he created this shit. Like, he created his own problem. And that's like been the reoccurring thing of his career. He's been creating his own problems, right? And this is somebody right here. This is somebody right here. I fucking idolize Jones, right? I idolize Jones, right? To me, John Jones is like he's Kobe. To me, he's Kobe Bryant in MMA. To me, that's John Jones. He's Kobe Bryant in MMA, except not as except more legal troubles, just a little bit more legal troubles. He is Kobe Bryant in the sense of just championship pedigree, and maybe not the most titles ever, right? But championship pedigree and the mentality aspect. And the mentality aspect is what I loved about Kobe, and the mentality aspect is what I loved about John Jones. However, he dug his own grave. He did dig his own grave. Like that's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. We got two more fights to talk about, and then fortunately we're gonna have to cut it off before we talk about the WBC. Let's try to rush it. So the main event of this, right? I previously talked about it was Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje, right? Justin Gaethje, being the interim champ, it's pretty well known that he isn't exactly going to be a favorite in this, right? It's obviously Topuria is going to be like these. I'm pretty sure the odds are going to look like these too. And you know what? That might be, this right here might be the most American shit. It might be the most American shit you could think of. It might just be. The problem with Trump not wanting an American to win, or the problem with Trump wanting all Americans to win in the White House card, was that the only two people that are actually in a position for a title shot or a title fight, might I add, is Justin Gaethje, who is the interim champion, fighting the lineal champion, Ilia Topuria, and the other one being Kayla Harrison, being the lineal champion of the women's bantamweight, and fighting the women's bantamweight, or the women's MMA GOAT in Amanda Nunes, right? So those are two options available, right? To me, I thought too that like Amanda, if they were really trying to, if they wanted Kayla Harrison to come back so soon, which I didn't think that was going to be possible. Which is why she's probably not going to be in this card. Is that Kayla's a really big bantamweight. Pause. But she's really big. Well, that's not a pause. She's a really big bantamweight. Like, she weighs a lot. She carries a lot of weight. She's like she has to do Chris Cyborg cuts to make bantamweight, right? Like, she has to literally do the impossible to make bantamweight, and she does it. So for her to pull out with an injury in January, and for them to expect her to A, already be recovered from this injury, and B, be recovered from this injury and be ready to fight in just half a year, you see where that like normally that seems very, and like she's also a female. That's the third thing too about it. You see where like normally in normal circumstances, that kind of makes sense. In these circumstances, that's so unrealistic. That's so unrealistic and so unfair to ask for Kayla. It's a total disservice to Kayla. Honestly, it's a disservice to her, right? And she's, at least to me, she's the best thing going on in the women's division. In the entirety of the women's division, she's the best thing going on for it. And so then the other head of the spectrum is Gaethje and Topuria. And you have to go, and like for this, you have to go all the way back to when, we were, even before we were colonies, before we were when we were just starting up. We were just starting up, right? We were just these little, or yeah, no, it is the colonies. Yeah, we were just these colonies, just pretending to be a nation, even though we were under England rule, right? England was the established country, right? And we went into war, right? And we took what was ours, right? We took what was ours. They tried running it back. They tried to run it back a couple years into the 18th 17th century, the 1800s. They tried to run it back like early on in the 1800s. They failed again. So what I'm trying to get at is that we may not now, like this day and age, since we've done so much since those 200 and a half years have passed by. We've done so much since then that we're not the underdog anymore. But when you go back to when this country was made, and like from the beginning to like the 1800s, even like the early 1900s, we were the underdogs. We were always the underdogs in that case. We were always historically, we are the underdog. It's just now we've just made so much developments into our countries that we've kind of blossomed into the national power at this point. But when we were created, we were ultimately the underdog, right? And Trump kind of stripping that away from us, like, oh, I want these Americans to win, right? It kind of strips apart it kind of just reassures the like national powerhouse type of bullshit, right? But it kind of forget the fact that we were once underdogs at a certain point in our country's history, that we were. The Gaethje and Topuria matchup, it's definitely the one that's like out of the ordinary, right? Besides the fucking second fight up that I still haven't gone to talk about with. Besides that fight and the co-main, there's no underdog. There's no underdog really. Co-main being that there's no American, and the second fight up being that they're both Americans, right? So one of them has to be an underdog. Other than that, I think that's also why they added the Chandler fight too, another underdog fight. I think it's poetic. I think it's a little poetic. Am I going to be cheering for Gaethje that day? You bet your fucking ass I'm going to be cheering for Gaethje. You bet your fucking ass I'm betting Gaethje. I'm betting Gaethje all my fucking lines. Fuck is you talking about? And they go all lose. They go all lose, but nah, fuck that. I got Gaethje on all my lines, right? I got Gaethje on all my lines. And then that's just gonna be a tough fight. I don't want to break it down fully, but just know it's gonna be a tough fight for Gaethje, man. It's gonna be a tough fight for Gaethje. He's up against a lot. Damn. The last fight being, or the second fight up being that I didn't get into, I was saving it for, is Bo Nickel and Kyle fucking Dawkins. So you mean to tell me we have fucking Steve Garcia? We got Steve Garcia and Diego Lopez. Two of the most, like, two of like the biggest, like, oh, I'm in danger type of fighters, right? Two of the most dangerous fighters in the featherweight division we have to open up the card. And then what do we have after that? Fucking Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins. Who the fuck invited these two to the? And I know I know what Bo Nickel has been trying to do. I know what Bo Nickel has been trying to do. He's been trying to get Colby Covington into this, right? He's been trying to bring, which that's also a big surprise that no Colby Covington on the White House card, right? That's like the biggest surprise to me. Kobe even came out and said that that's bullshit, right? Like what? Like no Kobe, no America's favorite fighter on the White House card. Like what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here, man? I tried doing a Kobe Covington voice. I can't do it, but I mean, like I'm being for like no Kobe Covington. Like what are we doing here? Like what are we doing here, man? Like and Bo Nickel's been trying to push his narrative that like oh Kobe Covington tried to turn down a fight with Bo Nickel, right? Kobe Covington didn't want to fight Bo Nickel, right? Why would he fight Bo Nickel though? Like I'm missing that detail. Why would he fight him? Like what? They're not they're not in the same weight class. They're not even in the same weight class. And B, like what? So like he's supposed to go up in weight because like what? Like you're talking shit. Bo doesn't fight 170. He doesn't fight at 170. Like he doesn't fight at 170. That's probably why Kobe isn't doing this fucking fight. They're not in the same weight class. And you might be thinking like, oh, Kobe's a pussy. Kobe's a fucking pussy, right? They're not in this like you could say that bullshit all you want. They're not in the same weight class, man. Like they're just not in the same weight class. So they got Bo Nickel. They got Bo Nickel ruining UFC 300. They got Bo Nickel ruining the UFC White House card. Who likes this guy? Who likes this guy? Who is a Bo Nickel fan? Besides like some like WrestleTard, right? Besides like Chael Sonnen. Who the fuck is a Bo Nickel fan? Right? Unless if you're like Daniel Cormier or some shit. Or Kale Sanderson. Who the fuck is a Bo Nickel fan, right? And especially after the last fight he pulled, right? The last fucking bullshit fight that he had. Who the fuck is a Bo Nickel? And why would you want him representing America? Especially after the last performance, because he fucking quit. He fucking quit his last fight. Bo Nickel quits his last fight. He quits in the fucking octagon, his last fight. His reward is a White House card fight. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's some fucking stupid shit. That's Mr. What's his name in the beginning of the stream, but you know, rough party though. Rough party, man. Bo Nickel. Fucking Bo Nickel, man. All right. So some last 10 minutes, right? It's the last 10 minutes, or not last 10 minutes. We're about to end right here. Okay, quick rundown for WBC, right? Tonight it's Italy versus Venezuela. Who we're gonna play, right, for the championship tomorrow, right? And all I gotta say, all we gotta say, I don't give a fuck who wins, right? Italy, even though they beat us, right? Italy, I want all that, right? I want all that. Venezuela, I want all that shit, right? Let's go, man. We winning the hockey. We winning hockey, right? We winning in baseball, right? We gonna win in soccer, right? We clean housing. You know what I'm saying? All right, but that's it though. That's it for today though. You know what I'm saying? We got a USA that though, yeah. And all right, yeah.